Hi, this is Benjamin from Airtame, and in this video I'll show you how you can set up digital signage for your Airtame screen. By default, when you install an Airtame screen, you will see the Copenhagen bridges as the background, and you will have a panel on the left side indicating how you can connect to the Airtame screen. However, you are able to not only change the signage that happens in the background, but also customize the appearance of this panel to better match the content that you might want to show on your digital signage. So in this video, I'll actually be walking you through all of the facets of setting up signage on an Airtame. I'll split it into different chapters, starting out very softly by just uploading a single image as the new background for my Airtame screen, and then moving on to more complex things like using third-party content like a YouTube video or Google Slides, and then finally actually setting up a schedule playlist where I fully control when the content appears on the screen. But without further ado, let's just get into the first step in setting up signage for an Airtame. So in this case, I want to replace the default background with an image I have locally on my computer. So to do that, I'm actually going to focus on my laptop here where I have my Airtame Cloud open. I'm going to select the device I want to affect. Remember, you can select more than one device if you want to add this background to multiple devices at the same time. And then I'm going to click on Edit Settings. Now, since we're changing the signage, the background of the Airtame screen, I'm going to go to the signage menu here. And you'll notice that we have a default playlist and a schedule playlist. Now, for most of the content, we will be focusing on the default playlist because that is the default content to show on the screen and what you would generally consider the wallpaper or the background. Schedule playlists are great for customizing exactly when content shows up, like for example showing the lunch menu around lunchtime. So I'm going to go into the default playlist here by clicking the plus icon or clicking add. And then from here I can select what type of content I want to show. Now, because I'm using a local image, I'm going to scroll down and find image. And then I'm going to go to the source area and select my file. I'll select the wallpaper I want to use, and I even get a little preview of how that's going to look. Now we need to save everything, and we're doing that in a few different steps. First, I'm saving my image to my playlist. Then I'm saving that this is the configuration of my entire default playlist. And then I'm saving my new default playlist to my device. When I do this, it will take a second and the image will pop up on my screen. Now, as you can see, the panel on the left is actually covering part of my image. So next up, I want to change the appearance of this panel to better match the specific image I'm using on the screen. I'm gonna select my device again and go into settings. And now I'm gonna focus on the appearance menu. Now you can customize the appearance in different ways, trying to solve any need you have to show information while at the same time showing off your amazing content. In my case, I want to switch the panel position to be a footer panel instead of the main panel. As you can see here in the preview on the right side, the footer panel will collapse a lot of information into this panel in the bottom of the screen, giving me an option to show off my content a bit more clearly. Now, another benefit of the image that I'm using is the fact that we have a lot of dark and black colors in the background in the bottom of the image, which means that I can actually change the theme of this appearance to be a dark theme to better match with the image. And I can even play around with using semi-transparent or even fully transparent transparency on my panel, which means that this white font will be printed directly on top of my image with a dark background. So with these settings in place, let's check out the TV and click Save. And as you can see, my panel has now been moved to the bottom and it's been made fully transparent, which means that I can now enjoy the full extent of my content while still having the important information like the pairing code and the name of the screen shown in the bottom. So this has been a very quick guide into how to set up the image and the appearance. Now let's move on to how you can set up a more complex third-party content like a Google slideshow. Next off, I'm going to show you how you can set up Google Slides as your background on your Airtame screen. You'll notice I have already changed the appearance setting to use the footer panel. This is generally recommended for stuff like Google Slides, where you will typically design the slides to take up the entire real estate of the screen. Therefore, we want our panel showing the parent code and the name of the Airtame screen to be as small as possible. Inside Airtame Cloud, I'm going to select my device and then go to Edit Settings. I'll then go to Signage and then click the plus icon in my default playlist to add my content. I'll then select the Google Slides app, and then from here I can either log into my Google account to select my specific slide deck, or I can paste in a link to a public Google Slides presentation if I have that. I'm going to log in with my account and then give it access to see what is in my Google Drive folder to locate the right presentation. And then select the presentation I want to use, in this case, the launch menu. If I scroll down a bit, you'll see I have two settings to set for my slideshow. The first setting is how many minutes or seconds I want to show each slide for before moving on to the next slide in the slide deck. And the second option is live slides, which allows me to actually live update what is being shown on my Airtame screen as I'm making changes to the presentation. I'll leave these settings as default for now and click Save to save my presentation to the playlist, and then save again to confirm that this is my entire playlist. And then finally, I'll save one final time to then push this playlist to my Airtame screen. And after a moment, the presentation is now up on my Airtame screen. But let's take it one step further. Let's make a default playlist that actually has multiple components. I'll show you how to do that next. Next off, I'm going to show you how you can add a second application to your playlist and actually control the duration of each one. In Airtame Cloud, I'm going to select my device and then go into Signage and edit my existing playlist where I already have an application added. Here I can then choose to add a second app. I'm going to scroll down and in my case select YouTube to show a YouTube video. I'll paste in a link to a YouTube presentation or a YouTube video I want to play, and then have a look at the settings. In my case, this is a fairly short video. I would like the video to actually loop while it's supposed to be playing on the screen, and I want to make sure it's muted as this is a screen for hallway. I'll click Save to save the YouTube app in my playlist. And before I save my playlist, I'm going to have a look at the new options here. Because I have more than one application in my playlist, I get a chance to actually control the duration of each app. That means I can control for how long I want the Google Slides presentation to appear and for how long I want my YouTube video to play. I'll leave the Google Slides presentation at 1 hour and then change the video to half an hour. I can also drag these different apps around. So in my case, I can move the YouTube video to be the first thing that plays. And then after playing the video for half an hour, it will then move on to playing my Google Slides presentation for 1 hour. Once I'm happy with my Signage playlist setup, I will save my playlist and then finally push my playlist to my screen. When I do that, it will update what is being shown on the screen. And because the YouTube video is the first app on my playlist, it will instantly start playing that video. So this is great for controlling different content to show by default and even controlling for how long you want to show it. But what if you want to show content at a very specific time? Well, that's the next chapter. I'm going to cover how you can set up a scheduled playlist. So now I'm going to show you how you can actually schedule exactly when you want some content to appear on your Airtame screen. First off, I'll select your Airtame screen and go to Edit Settings. Then I'll go to Signage and have a look at this Schedule Playlist option. From here, I'm going to select what content I want to show. I will just be selecting YouTube and adding the same video as before. I'll again loop it but mute it and then save it. Once I'm happy with the overall content and the series of content I want to show in my schedule playlist, I will click Save. And now we're going to get into the details of controlling when this content appears. So here I have a video, and from here I can actually select a start date and an optional end date. I can also select that the content should only run on specific days of the week. So in my case, I want this to run over noon. So I'm going to select that it only runs on work days, and I will say that it should run from 12 to 13. Here we are. And just like that, I have set up the schedule logic for when this video should play to make sure that it only plays during the workday, and it only plays between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Once I'm happy with my schedule playlist, I'll scroll up and then save my entire configuration to my Airtame screen. Now nothing is going to happen to my Airtame screen visibly right now, because right now we are outside of the period of time when I want this video to appear. But tomorrow at 11 a.m. the YouTube video will start appearing automatically because I've set a schedule to make sure it plays at that time. So this has been a full walkthrough of some of the features that you have in the digital signage capabilities of Airtame Cloud. Not only can you control what content is being shown and when, you can use third-party content, and you can change the appearance of your panel to ensure that you still convey the information regarding the pairing code and the name you need to screen share or start a call on the Airtame screen, while at the same time giving a lot of focus to the content you might want to show as your digital signage. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.